Welcome to the College Basketball Net Profit Show, Thursday, February 23rd. Ian Cameron and Conor Mack ready to break this down on a Thursday where we have lots of mid-major action, a couple Big Ten and Pac-12 games sprinkled in. So let's get to it. We'll begin in the Big Ten, Penn State, Ohio State. And Ohio State is laying points, 3 here at home, 143 the total. I'm going to keep it simple. Either bet Penn State or nothing here. There's no way I'm laying points with Ohio State. Now, maybe they figure it's not a bad spot here. It's a team desperate for a win, but I don't know if that's really going to matter. You've got a team that's lost 8 straight. There's been signs of quit 3 straight games from this Ohio State team that when they fall behind, there's no pushback. And here's Penn State. They've notched 2 wins in a row against Illinois and Minnesota of late. I'm shocked that they're betting Ohio State I'm shocked that they're betting Ohio State to this extent. I just am. And even the last 2 meetings last year with these 2 teams, they were tough games for Ohio State. In fact, Penn State came into Columbus and beat them 71-68. So I don't get it with the move toward Ohio State. It would not be something I'm interested in. What do you think here, Conor?
Yeah, I can't do it. And they're laying points too. I thought of it as yesterday, with Vandy and LSU, and they had their best shooting night, in a long time, in months. Does that happen here with Ohio State? I'm not going to bet them. To me, too, it's just Penn State or nothing. How can you take Ohio State? They just keep losing. No key, too.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe they have a great shooting night. Sensabaugh, Thornton, and they get the win, but, no money for me.
Yep. All right. Next up here as we continue along in this Thursday slate, we've got Memphis and Wichita State. It is a good AAC matchup here. We've got Memphis, 2-point road favorites, 147 the total in this game. Wichita State's been a great team for me to bet, whether sides, whether totals. They've been really good to me. I swept with them and the over last Thursday on this show against Temple. That's, to me, the bet in this game is over the total. Wichita now, that's 11 straight Wichita State games that have gone over the total. Memphis, the one concern, I guess, for Memphis, at least as far as the over is concerned, is Kendrick Davis. Last game missed due to an ankle injury. It's a questionable game-time decision if he suits up tonight for the Tigers. Obviously, he's a huge component to what they do, and their offense without him only scored 64. Now, that was against Houston, outstanding elite defense. So with or without Davis, I think Memphis will score a little bit more here in this game. I like Wichita here as a home dog. I don't trust Memphis on the road, especially if Davis is a little bit banged up. So I like Wichita a little, and I'm definitely right back to the well with another Wichita State game over the total. So for me, over 147.5. Conor, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on Wichita here. At home, they've lost some close games, so I'm a little worried here, but I got to take him. I don't know if Davis goes, and if he does, how much the ankle will be here. So I'm on them here, and I'll have something on the over just because it's just been riding, 11 in a row. And you mentioned the game before that, the UCF game too. The first half was good. The second half, they just stopped scoring. The last, especially, I think 5 minutes, there was nothing in that basketball game. So yeah, Wichita for me, and I'll have a piece of the over.
All right, Rice, UAB 12-point home favorites, 158 the total. Another over here. It's just a pretty simple, straightforward decision. UAB has gotten back to really scoring at a very high clip with Jelly Walker back, and he's been back now for several games, but the efficiency's been off the charts. UAB has shot at or close to or better than 50% now in 3 straight games. So they've been really good offensively, 4 straight overs for them. Rice doesn't play a lick of defense. There's no reason UAB can't get 80s or even 90s in this game. And I think you can get 80s or 70s out of Rice, because Rice, the one thing we're seeing is FAU, FIU, UTSA, Western Kentucky. They've scored into the 80s in 3 of those 4 games. So, yeah, it's a high total, but I definitely see this game getting into the 160s. So another over here for me in this game. Conor, what do you think?
I'm off. There should be plenty of points. I could still get over this 157. And if I had to, I didn't bet this, I'd lay it with UAB. I just think they're clicking right now. But I'm not really loving with a slate like this, laying 12 with them. But I think they win here pretty easy.
The only thing that concerns me is Rice has been a sneaky road dog. If you actually look at road underdog, they won outright at FIU. They covered against Florida Atlantic and lost by 9.
They've been good this year.
They won outright. Yeah, I mean, to me, actually, I lean Rice. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to pull the trigger, but I actually Rice has shown up in this road underdog role. We'll see if they can do that here again tonight against a very good, obviously UAB a UAB team though that can't afford any slip ups. Like they're right on the bubble, and they probably still have to win the conference tournament probably to get into the NCAA tournament. So I don't know if they're an at-large team. I don't see UAB as an at-large team right now. I think they've probably got to win the conference tournament to get in for sure. Michigan,
yeah, they need to keep the gas, foot on the pedal.
Yep, they certainly do. Michigan and Rutgers. We've got Rutgers here at the rack where they're always difficult to beat. 5-point home favorites, 135 the total in this game. Kind of has that feel for a Rutgers team that, has fallen on some hard times here of late, haven't played nearly as well the last several games. It does have that feel, though, that they might be able to rally the troops here, get back on track. They did beat Wisconsin 58-57 in their last game. Michigan on the road, they did beat Northwestern, but, other than that, they failed to cover at Maryland and at Penn State and at Wisconsin in their last game. So it does feel like a Rutgers spot here at home. Do you want to lay 5 ends up being the question here in this game. But Rutgers did win by 8 last year here at the rack against Michigan. Number at 5, haven't bet it, but I do lean to Rutgers in this game. What do you think here, Connor?
You know me, this is Rutgers or nothing else. Even when they're at home here at the rack, the shots just drop compared to the road. And I want no parts of Michigan really right now in the year. And I don't know if Howard's going to go. I haven't really got any news. I haven't looked at that in the last few hours. Whether he's in or out, I think, Michigan just struggles to score on the road this year. It's been really, really bad for them.
Yeah, that
probably under. This total's gone up, though, Babano. Maybe it was too low and it moved up a couple of points. So I'm going to stay off.
Yeah, I think the under is probably the way to play it as far as the total. I definitely wouldn't object to that. USC, Colorado 2.5-point home favorites, 140.5 the total in this one. This is kind of a dilemma game for me where, USC to me is better than Colorado. I don't really doubt that very much, but at the same point in time, Colorado's been a different team in Boulder, and USC on the road has shown their share of problems. Other than a win against Arizona State, they have been really bad on the road here. 3 of the last 4 road games, USC. So I think USC's, like I said, I think USC's better team, but Colorado's played their best ball at home. USC's been too average on the road for me to take them. So I lean USC, but I'm off. What do you think here, C-Mac?
I think USC's better too, and this line's just, money's crazy with Colorado. It's just stuck here, 2.5. Has it gone to 3? The trust with them, I just think they're just a sloppy team, Colorado. But if there's any place, I only play them at home. When they're on the road, it's just never play for me here with Colorado. And I don't think this is probably their worst team in at least the last 5 years for Colorado. I'd like to take them here. I just think the talent's a little bit better with SC. But you gave me a free bet, I'd still take Colorado.
All right, next up here. And by the way, we apologize ahead of time for we're going to have to end the show a little earlier today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But, we're going quick today. But that's just the way it is, unfortunately, sometimes. I had an appointment. I totally forgot about it, too. I get the call today. The doctor's ready for you at 6 o'clock. Oh, shit. So that's why we're ending early here at 5:30 today. But we'll get through as many games as we can. Washington and Cal next up here in the Pac-12. We've got certainly a Cal team that's fallen on hard times. They've had a terrible year. They're 7.5-point home underdogs here in this game. Total 130 the total in this. I mean, the under probably is not a bad way to go here. This is a game I'm totally off. I mean, California, there was a little run I had with them actually as they were cashing some tickets there at one point earlier in the year. But as usual with a Mark Fox team, offense is there. Usually they're undoing, and we have seen that repeatedly on display here for Cal so far this year. But do you want to lay this many on the road with Washington, who are 1-8, by the way, straight up on the road this year? That becomes a real dicey proposition. The bottom line is you got a total of 130 for a Cal team that hasn't topped 62 points in 9 straight games. So just by default, I have to lean to the under. But other than that, I'm totally staying off here. What do you think here, C-Mac?
It's been forever. And the last game where they had any points was that Washington game. That OT 81-78. They've just lived in the 40s and barely got into the 60s.
Bet the under Washington giving up that number of points again tonight.
Yeah. And they've had that weird stretch where Cal scored a bunch of points, kind of in, I don't know, in a 6
which
game
looks like a
span.
fluke at this point.
It is. So I can't take it. You mentioned the records 1-8, but Washington's ATS has been good on the road, but they don't lay numbers like this. I bet you they've done it once, maybe. I don't even know. Oregon State, I'd have to look that up. But so yeah, I couldn't be on anything here.
All right, this is one of the better games tonight. Northwestern and Illinois. This Northwestern team, man, they have just come on like a freight train here down the stretch, to the point where I think, as if the season ends today, they're probably in the NCAA tournament. I think they've probably done enough, the Wildcats, and you got to give them credit. Right now, Illinois 6-point home favorites, 136, but they've won 5 in a row. They've covered 5 in a row. Now, granted, they're going on the road tonight. These big wins that they had, Iowa, Indiana, and Purdue, were all at home in Evanston. Let's see if they can do it on the road. That's the question here. But, they could be able to do it. Illinois here, we'll see. Northwestern had the 73-60 win at home over Illinois. So it is revenge for the Illini in this game. But the Northwestern Wildcats have covered 4 straight against their state rivals here from Illinois. And even though Illinois has been the better team in all these head-to-head matchups, Northwestern has been a tough team on them. So this is one of those spots where, yeah, it's home team in revenge. Lay the points, not so fast, especially now that it's up to 7. At 7, I'm taking Northwestern now for something. It may not be a big play, but at +7 now, I want something on Northwestern. This line's gotten a little much right now for me with the way the Wildcats are playing right now. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, it's starting to go out. The revenge, Illinois, they've just been hit and miss here a little bit in at home. I thought about taking them here early. With Shannon being out hasn't helped, and I don't think he plays here tonight. I got to wait on that. And I looked at this total. I was hoping this was a few higher. I look at the under. The under's been money for both these teams. Northwestern kind of needs to play a slow-down game. They just keep getting it done. They don't score it done. And you mentioned they have been great, but they've played okay on the road. 6-2 against the number, and they've gotten wins. I know these teams down years like Wisconsin, Ohio State, but they've been able to get it done. So, yeah, interesting spot here, Northwestern Illinois tonight.
All right, next up here, we continue along. It is Pepperdine, Santa Clara, West Coast Conference basketball here. Santa Clara, 11-point home favorites, 162.5 the total in this game. I think the side could go either way, but I like the over here. It's already been hit up, 159.5 to 162.5. I legitimately think Lorenzo Romar tells his team before every game, do everything you can not to play any defense. I honestly think that when it comes
especially
to
lately.
Pepperdine. Yeah, especially if let's not even play any defense. Let's not even try on defense. But crazy as shit, even though they haven't played any defense the last 4 games, they've covered all 4 games. Why? Because they can score. They've got incredible offensive talent. They got shot makers, this Waves team. So that's why I love the over. 4 straight overs, and they're going way over. 187, 172, 168, 170, or 185 against Gonzaga. I mean, these games are going way over the total. Santa Clara, the last 2, especially the Portland game, got into the 180s. So I like the over. If you want to ride the wave, no pun intended, Pepperdine has covered, 4 in a row. So, if you want to take the points, I wouldn't talk you out of it. I just prefer the total, though. What do you think here, Conor?
Even with this number, I think just because you mentioned one thing with Pepperdine, no defense, and they just back and forth. They just chuck up shots. Santa Clara could easily win and cover here. God, I'm tempted. I don't know if I get there with Pepperdine because they've just been able to hang around in these games. So I lean their way with catching the 10.5.
Santa Clara 0-3 ATS. Their last 3 is home favorites. So there you go. There's another thing to add
doubles
to the
here.
Ledger. Maybe Pepperdine can score. They can't stop anybody, but they can light it up, and they've done that here in the last 4 games. Pacific and St. Mary's. We've got St. Mary's 19-point home favorites, 137 being the total in this game. This is sometimes what you get with a team with the 24-5 record. Late in the season, you get a point spread value problem, and that's what we have with St. Mary's right now. We have a point spread value problem with them right now where they're just overvalued. They're laying too many points on a regular basis. They're just 2-5 against the number their last 7 games. They beat BYU by 6, failed to cover. Gonzaga, they came back to win, but San Francisco at home, they failed to cover. Pacific hasn't been great, but Pacific did give Loyola Marymount a tough battle, 90-88 in their last game. And they catch St. Mary's here, obviously playing Gonzaga coming up on Saturday night. Huge rematch at the Kennel after St. Mary's came back to beat Gonzaga in Moraga. So that's a huge on-deck spot for St. Mary's. Do they really want to go out there and blast this Pacific team by 20-plus points? I'm not so sure. So give me a little Pacific here. First half, full game split in this game. What do you think, Connor?
I think so, too. I think this is just getting out too many here. St. Mary's, they've covered, too. A lot of numbers throughout the year. But Pacific in the past has played well against this team, and I think they could hang within the 20.
Big rivalry game in the Big West coming up now. Long Beach State and Cal Santa Barbara, 49ers and Gauchos. We've got UCSB, 5-point home favorites, 148 being the total in this game. For me, Connor Mack, this is Long Beach State for me, plus the points. Santa Barbara's fallen off. They've fallen on hard times. This is a team that started out the season rolling, but they have not been rolling. They've been rolling the other way the last three. 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread. 3 straight losses as favorites against Irvine, Riverside, and Fullerton. So they've hit a rough patch big time, Santa Barbara. They're still can win this conference, but all of a sudden we're seeing the roof kind of cave in a little bit. Long Beach has dropped 2 in a row, but I still think here in this road underdog role, they've been pretty good. Going back to last year, I remember every time Long Beach was a road underdog, they got the money. They were very good in this role. They already have a win against Fullerton outright as a road dog earlier in conference play. So really, it's just a struggling Santa Barbara team here, and that's why I'm taking the points here with Long Beach in this one. Total's gone up. Santa Barbara wants to slow it down. Long Beach wants to speed it up. So I guess I'd have to lean over since I like Long Beach because they want to get their preferred pace. If Santa Barbara wants to win and cover, they want to slow it down, play in the half court. But so it's a bit of a clash of pace and style in this game. But I like Long Beach against a struggling Gauchos team. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, real quick on the total. It is a clash, especially Santa Barbara just hasn't been able to score. One thing, Long Beach, not the best defense. And even offensively, this team doesn't do much well, but they just kind of score and are scrappy, and get up and down real quick. And Santa Barbara the other way. I'm worried they have a good game, but this is one earlier. I'm already on Long Beach, too, on Jimmy's show. I took the points. I think they can hang around in this game. I think it's just too many. It's just weird to see Santa Barbara, I said earlier, like cruising, and then now 3 straight losses at desperate. That's why I'm a little bit cautious here, but I think this is a good rivalry type game here, Big West. So I got the points.
All right, UCLA and Utah. We've got UCLA 7-point road favorites, 130.5 being the total in this game. Again, it's never easy to win here in Utah. No question about that. The Utes have a good home record again, 12-4 this year. I don't know, though, if I want to go against UCLA. They're just rolling right now, and we do have to note that there are a couple key injuries here for Utah. Madsen's the big one. He's not coming back till at least early March. Ballstead, concussion. Rolly Worcester with the leg injury. He's doubtful for tonight. So a shorthanded, depleted Utah team. That's why they're getting 7. Normally, they would not get this many points against UCLA on their home floor, but they're banged up. UCLA just is on fire right now. I mean, maybe this is a spot for UCLA to finally trip up, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to test it with a bet. What do you think here, C-Mac?
This is normally this trip. You used to get the split in this trip is pretty good. Yep. This in Colorado, these Pac-12 teams. The injuries is just what is keeping me off. Do they have like this heroic effort? I could still see it with Utah. This is where you want them at home. And this is a spot for UCLA to maybe get tripped up, but they're just the better team. I think you mentioned earlier, and I think UCLA one of the more complete teams that I think could win it all, or at least be right there. They're so efficient. And this game on the total, I wish was a little bit higher, but Utah's solid to the under, and UCLA's defense has just been really, really good. They just hold teams down right now, and they're slow, pretty slow pace. They're efficient offense, but slow. So I'm looking at this under a little bit.
All right, San Diego, Gonzaga. We've got Gonzaga, 23-point home favorites here, and the total 164. Wow, a lot of points, a lot of points. I'm looking back now in their track record as home favorites. The San Francisco game they covered, Santa Clara they did, but they lost outright, of course, to Loyola Marymount, and then BYU they won by 7. Loyola Marymount they were amped up because they beat them, but then against Pepperdine, there they go again, laying a big number, and they only won by 9. So for me, it's either San Diego or pass, but San Diego, if you look at their recent results, they've had a tough time. 3 straight losses. They've been blown out they've actually been competitive in all 3 of those losses, believe it or not. 5-point loss to Santa Clara, Pacific by 5, St. Mary's by 3. Maybe they do hang. I lean to the points. I certainly would only look over, but here's the problem. It's 164. When they met earlier this year in San Diego, you know how many total points were scored? 164. Right on this total. So they did a good job bumping this total up. What do you think here, C-Mac?
Yeah, I'm not going to go against Gonzaga. You get just at home. They've been rolling. They score 95 here, maybe 100. I think you could pencil that in. They've regularly done that against San Diego, and I think it happens tonight.
All right, final game for the marquee games: Washington State and Stanford. Even though this is a shorter show, we do want to leave some time for Q&A and best bets. Stanford 2-point home favorites, 134.5 the total in this game. Stanford, we know, has played better basketball of late. Well, they were until these 2 games against UCLA and USC. They fell off in both of those games and lost. Washington State, they've won 3 in a row. They're on that tournament bubble. It was a 1-point win for Washington State the last time these 2 teams played. I think from a situational standpoint, I kind of like Stanford here. 2 road losses back home. Let's not forget Stanford was playing a little bit better before they ran into the 2 LA teams. They were really starting to play better basketball. They're laying up near pick-em price at home. Lean Stanford a little bit here. I think they'll get the win here in this one. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, I like Stanford here too at home, and this is not a team that I really wanted to back at all throughout the year. And Washington State, 3 straight wins, took care of business. And looking at this total is one I'm going to look at a little bit more. I lean under. Stanford scored a little bit more lately, but Washington State's pretty slow. They rely on the 3. If those drop, it will go over. But if they don't, this could be a sluggish game. So I lean under.
All right, good stuff. It is time now for games that we have not talked about yet that we like. Connor Mack, games on the board for this Thursday that you like that we have not discussed yet. What are you looking at?
Yeah, I took Towson here, the 9.5. A lot of love for Charleston, a big number. Man, and they could get beat down. When they get together, the games are pretty close. I thought the number was just too big. And I think there's points. It's right around 149. I don't know if I get there, but I lean over in that game. I looked at Cal Baptist here today. I think North Texas, as much as I want to back Charlotte, I can't trust them to score. I still think North Texas, I know I don't love crazy road favorites, but 2.5, 3, I think they could get the job done. That was about, I lost the value with Weber, and I don't know if I really want to go against Eastern Washington. That should be a good basketball game, but that's another one too, Babano. It's gone over in that series, and Weber is a really slow under team. And we know Eastern Washington can light it up, but they've definitely hit that over if you like the over 139. And I kind of like IUPUI plus 10, 10.5. Ugly home dog, but I think they can hang around. Why is Robert Morris laying points like this? Definitely better, but I think IUPUI can hang in there. That's it.
All right, there we go. Good stuff. All right, well, let's go through mine rapid fire. For what I'm looking at here. I'm on Monmouth again, plus 2.5 against Hampton Inn in that game. Lean over in that one as well. I'm on UTEP FIU. We're mining for units, but not with UTEP tonight with the over. Strong series history of overs with UTEP and FIU. So I'm on that over. I'm actually fading Florida Atlantic tonight. It's just too many points, and they've been overvalued a little bit lately, Florida Atlantic. They're being priced like one of the great mid-major teams, and they've had issues covering these big numbers. So I like UTS. Jose will like that. UTSA plus the points and the over there as well with UTSA and Florida Atlantic. Wright State, Oakland over. That one's moved up. A lot of these Horizon League games, I like the over. Northern Kentucky, Detroit. There's another game I like over the total. What else? I'm back on Elon again. Elon's just been so good to me from a point spread standpoint, and I think they're better than William and Mary at this point in the season. So I like Elon there. I think Stony Brook, few too many points against Wilmington. I think Stony Brook covers the number against Wilmington, getting 10. What else have we got? You mentioned Cal Baptist. I don't mind that. I actually like Cal Baptist there. Utah Tech, I think, beats Rio Grande Valley. I'm on Utah Tech. Robert Morris, IUPUI. There's another over for me. Oral Roberts, South Dakota, another over. What else have we got here? Let me just see here. Utah Valley, Tarleton. I agree with the move toward Tarleton. They're always intriguing to me as a dog. St. Thomas, North Dakota State. I like the over there. Little Rock, Edwardsville over. Purdue, Fort Wayne, Milwaukee over. Tennessee Tech, Southern Indiana over. Louisiana Tech plus the points against Western Kentucky. Small bet there. Don't love it, but I did bet it. Southeast Missouri State, Lindenwood over. Tennessee State, Tennessee Martin over. Eastern Washington, Weber State over. Cleveland State, Green Bay over. So there's a nice little stretch of overs there. Bakersfield and Northridge. Man, that was frustrating with Bakersfield the other night.
They were right. It was hard to watch. I went back and watched it the last 3 minutes or whatever because that was a close game and just no points. Zilch.
Yeah, they just struggled big time there. I agree. So Portland +8 against San Francisco. I like that. I ended up passing. I leaned Bakersfield, but I passed on that Bakersfield Northridge spot. And then on the added board, what do we got here? I'm just trying to see. Fairleigh Dickinson, I took them money line against St. Francis, PA, and a little bit on the over in that game. I'm on Stonehill again. I'm just a Stonehill fiend.
I don't think Wagner should be laying that. This Wagner team's not that good compared to the last couple of years.
I don't think so either. So I like Stonehill there +3.5 in that one. Nichols and New Orleans over. That one's gone up to 154. I like it though. Nichols State, New Orleans over, and that's it. There we go.
Real quick. Gardner
we got
Webb.
a couple minutes still, actually. A couple minutes for quick questions. Houston Baptist, I got nothing there. I do lean to that side, but nothing. Same with Longwood. I leaned Longwood. I didn't bet it.
Yeah, real quick. I want to take Gardner Webb. They can't shoot free throws, stuff like that. I don't want to lay 2 with them. So I'd like to take Gardner Webb. That was it.
There we go. Good stuff. All right. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. 155 live viewers. Rice UAB over, Jack. I mentioned it on the main segment that we did. Yeah, I like the over. I have bet the over there. Good stuff. All right. Best bets coming up right after we hear from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101, manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code PubSports. All right, best bets to wrap this up. A little abbreviated show, but it is what it is. Hawaii. Why not? It's the only game that's really late tonight, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on the West Coast, Riverside and Hawaii. I got to give you an opinion on that game. I like the dog. I cashed a best bet with Riverside earlier this week. They laid waste to Northridge on Monday night. I'm coming back to Riverside here. They're playing really well, the Highlanders. I know Hawaii can be tough in that gym there, the Stan Sheriff Center there in Honolulu. But I think the way Riverside's form is right now, they can go in there and give Hawaii a real tough game and maybe even win it. So I like the +3.5, +4 with Riverside there. I do like that. That'll be a real late night special.
Yeah, that's why it's moved. I've had Riverside. I had them Saturday and Monday. I know there's 3.5s now. Hawaii wins at home. Doesn't mean they always cover. And I think that's a battle. I'd look at the under as well. All right, here's mine, Babano. Wichita.
Right,
yeah, +2.5. I'll have a piece of the over. I got to take it. And I'll just give you the rest. I took Towson 9.5. Long Beach +5. That's it.
There you go. Like a lot of those best bets there for Conor Mack. My best bet, hey, how am I going to argue with a best bet for a team that's gone 11 straight overs? This was the best bet for me last Thursday. This team with the over is going to be the best bet for me tonight again. Memphis, Wichita State, over 147. I think it's another 12th straight over coming up tonight for the Wichita State Shockers. So Memphis, Wichita State, over 147. For my best bet here for this Thursday college basketball card. And that's a wrap. We appreciate everyone joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Reminder that we have Pubapalooza 2 coming up at the end of March, and we just dropped a brand new trailer on the Pub Sports Radio YouTube channel. If you weren't with us last year, here's your chance to see what you missed out on. A lot of our great events that we took part in last year for the inaugural Pubapalooza, and a preview of what's to come for Pubapalooza 2, the Deuce version, in a month from now. So make sure you check it out on the Pub Sports Radio YouTube channel, the trailer that we just dropped, the brand new trailer, hot off the presses. Check it out on the Pub Sports Radio YouTube channel, and get ready for Pubapalooza 2, which is just a month away. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Cab is with Conor tomorrow on the Net Profit Show on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, I'll be back for Pub Hub Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern with Conor and Dabby Cab. For Conor Mack, I'm me and Cameron. Have a great Thursday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Pub Sports Radio.
Peace.
Pubapalooza 2 on the horizon. We're going to have live shows popping off in the Southtown 101. We're going to have a poker tournament, a par 3 golf tournament, UFC San Antonio on the Saturday night. A lot of excitement. Pubapalooza 2, baby.